So the only bit of news I got to talk about today is WWE 2K25 has been announced, fully announced, with all the new features and all that. And oh boy, there's like a 99% chance I'll be switching over to 2K25 for WPW. Because there's a lot that there's actually quite a bit of additions that they're adding in for this new addition to the game. I'm just gonna get the big one out of the way. They're adding intergender wrestling in this, so you can have the men face the women in a wrestling match. Which, I mean, of course, you know, there's discourse online and all that. You know, people complaining about intergender wrestling being a thing, and I'm just sitting here going, are people really complaining about this when every fighting game in existence has both genders fighting each other? Like, you look at Tekken, look at Mortal Kombat, look at Soul Calibur, Virtual Fighter, any fighting game has intergender matches, more or less, and people want to act like this is suddenly a new thing and complain about it. I, for one, am all for it. I think it's cool. Especially for my needs, because obviously I got tag teams for the women's division, and I got tag teams for the men's division, but I don't have enough in either division to warrant tag titles. But with this new addition, I can make just one set of tag titles, and I can have you know, I probably do a little tournament in the future. But on top of that, in-ring promos are coming back to universe mode, which is really cool. I just hope they make the universe mode. I never really touched the universe mode for 2K24. The few times I did was for one, the Elimination Chamber match for the return show, and I tried to set up interference, which that's one thing I really hope they fix. I really hope that they fix interferences in universal mode, because they are so ass backwards in 2K24. I don't like how you set them up. I like the different rivalry actions. I think those are cool. I just don't like how you set up interferences in universal mode, because they don't make any sense. Or better yet, give us the ability to set up an interference in play mode. I mean, that's literally another option I would like. But other than that, they are also adding in an open world mode called the Island, which, from what I understand, is all gonna be this whole entire game is Bloodline themed, because that's the showcase. That's the showcase for this game. It's the Bloodline's legacy. So it looks like you'll be able to play matches featuring a bunch of people from the Anawai family. So wrestlers going from like Yokozuna to Rikishi, The Rock, Roman Reigns, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, you know, all the other, basically every member of the Bloodline and everyone that's a part of that family that was in, you know, that's been in the WWE, which I think is pretty cool. I think that'll be a fun showcase mode to play. They're also touting that this roster is the largest roster that has ever been in a 2K game. They're talking about like 300 plus roster, which, I mean, you know how it's gonna be. We're gonna get like 5 versions of like a bunch of different wrestlers. Let's be real here. But to go back to the island mode, this is pretty cool. I like the fact that they're adding in an open worldy type mode, because the furthest back I can think of is SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, because in that game you could walk around the arena, you could walk outside, roam the streets of, I assume to be, New York City, and you could just do a lot of cool stuff in that like career mode for Shut Your Mouth, and I'm happy to see it back, even though this one is like meant to be a little bit more fantasy-esque. I use that term very loosely, but I think it's cool. And I swear to God, I swear to God, this game is. I swear they're messing with me, because one of the new match types in 2K25 is, I'm not even kidding, called an underground match. They are adding underground matches, which, from what I understand, they're basically just they're normal wrestling matches, but without ring ropes. I think they tout them as, I think they tried to, like, a more, and they try and explain it as like an MMA style type deal, but it's just a wrestling match with no ring ropes, which I think is cool. I just think it's hilarious. It's like, buddy, I literally call the area WPWs based in the underground, and they're adding underground matches. Like, come on now. I'm gonna see what else they got. I'm going through the Steam store page, seeing if they've, you know, added in anything else. Take control of your superstar from the women's or men's division in the singular multi-gender My Rise storyline, where Bayley, Kevin Owens, and other superstars infiltrate NXT and end up to take over the entire WWE universe. Huh, that'd be cool. Bloodline Dynasty, that is what the showcase mode is called. This is kind of cool. So I never really played the GM mode of the last few 2K games, but I've heard a lot of good things about them. They're making it to where you can now play GM mode online, which, you know, can be pretty cool if you want to play with, like, a friend. Which I think was already a thing. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm featuring online multiplayer. By the way. Additional features. So they're adding in chain. Yeah, so they're returning chain wrestling, underground, and bloodline rules match types, barricade diving, and more. I want to know what these bloodlines rules matches are, because I feel like this would, I want to get in depth on what other new match types they're going to be adding in here, because I think it would be cool to add in, like, Inferno matches and a bunch of other stuff that hasn't been a WWE game in years. I also just want to see how the creation suite is. I want to see if they've added anything new to, like, create an arena and create a wrestler, obviously. Which, you know, probably not gonna happen, but I know the big thing we always ask is for the ability for us to just, you know, transfer our created characters from game to game. Because basically nothing changes except for, like, gameplay additions and whatnot. So there's, like, basically no reason for us to not be able to transfer characters over. Make things a lot easier. Especially now, since, as I've said, I'm very likely going to be switching to 2K25 for WPW. Obviously, we're going to wait and see how the game actually plays, because I don't want to announce the Switch and, you know, turns out the game is a broken mess on release. So we'll be keeping an eye out on all the other streams for that game when it comes out. So its official release date, is March 14th. So in about 6 weeks. But you can pre-order, you can get the Deadman or the Bloodline edition to get advanced access of 7 days, which is March 7th. So, yeah. Cool stuff on there. But that's it in terms of, like, the news I got. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into things here for Bully. Oh, well, you know what? Actually, another quick thing. Destiny 2 is doing another crossover thing. And on the list of crossovers, I probably didn't expect, or I would never expect to be in the game. Star Wars is pretty high on that list, but they did announce today that Destiny 2 is doing a crossover with Star Wars, so you can get you can make your Guardian look like different types of stormtroopers. It's specifically stormtroopers. So from what I'm gathering here, the Hunter is going to be the Elite Death Trooper, the Titan is going to be a standard-looking stormtrooper, and the Warlock is getting Imperial Guard. Is getting an Imperial Guard costume. They look really cool, honestly. I like the Death Trooper look. And judging by the promotional poster they released, it seems like we're also going to be playing a type. We're not playing. What am I saying? It looks like they'll be adding in a TIE fighter for us to use. So that's cool. I got one quick news story, and it's a very fun one if you are a fan of the Warhammer 40k universe. A teaser trailer for Astartes 2 just dropped. I think it was yesterday or the day before. So if you guys don't know what Astartes is, it was this ridiculously gorgeous making. It was just like this very amazing like 3D fan animation, I should add. Set in the 40k universe, and it featured you know, Space Marines doing their thing. Space Marines, they did this like drop pod thing into a heretic vessel from a Space Hulk. It was really cool, and the fact that it was only made by one guy is just incredible, absolutely incredible. So Astartes comes out. It's this massive success on YouTube. People are like, dude, are you gonna be making like a standalone like TV series and all that? And about roughly a month or so after that animation came out, turns out Games Workshop ended up hiring the guy, and they hired him on to start making Astartes 2. And on top of that, and I haven't watched it yet, but I guess he also did the animation for the secret level episode that was centered around 40k, which I saw. Amazon, I think it was on Amazon Prime. They posted a clip of that episode of the 40k episode, and it just looked, again, just absolutely amazing. Space Marines just completely just bull rushing into a fucking heretic vehicle. It was super badass, super awesome. And this teaser trailer came out, and it's already hitting all the right notes, showing a bunch of these awesome factions, not just Space Marines, but it showed Space Marines fighting the Tyranids. It showed fighting what I would assume to be the Tau. And obviously, the ever so classic, it showed a clip of the Space Marines fighting the Orcs, because you gotta have the Orcs in there for this show. But they showed like all the cool different types of vehicles that the Imperium uses. On top of that, it showed a bunch of different chapters of Space Marines, some of which I think one of them was an original chapter that the animator made, that I guess they're turning into like an official chapter of Space Marine, which is really cool. Like that's like a dream come true. Like having your own custom made Space Marine be made as like an official thing for an official like show licensed by Games Workshop, like that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. And the whole thing just looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely gorgeous. But it showed us a hive world. Don't know which hive world it is. It could be Necromunda, could not be. But it looked like we got like a hint of Chaos Space Marines, because they showed a couple Space Marines in there that kind of had like spiked armor a little bit, so very Chaos-y. Didn't really get a good look. There was one really cool shot that I liked where you had, I think it was called the Reaper, a Reaper tank. It's one of the Space Marine tanks, and it's this scene on like this flat desert plain, and it has this herd of Tyranids running around. It was literally like a herd of Tyranids running around like the Velociraptors. And I don't know why. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was really cool to see. But the crazy thing, right? The crazy thing about this is that all the footage that was used in this teaser isn't footage from the show. They just straight up made more footage for this teaser to show, like, hey, here's what to expect, which, you know, I feel like that's what a teaser trailer should be, is like, here's what to expect. This is nothing from the thing it's advertising at all. Kind of like how movies do, where they have some scenes changed and whatnot. But no, that's just, it just looks amazing. The unfortunate thing, though, is that we are going to have to wait until 2026 for Astartes 2. I'm a little bit sad by that. However, I think the wait will be worth it. This is going to be the big, this is probably going to be the big talking point in the 40K franchise for the years to come. And obviously, you know, we got Henry Cavill and Amazon doing their own 40K TV show. That could be pretty cool. Maybe they'll get the I can't remember the dude's name, but be able to get the animator in to do an episode, maybe assist with animation of an episode. We'll see. But I'm just so excited, guys. Now, if only we could see where that Horus Heresy thing will lead up to, because I think that's another show that they're working on, is a show centered around the Horus Heresy, which that could also be a really cool thing to introduce people to 40K. Which honestly, like, this, I love the idea of just 40K TV shows in general, because it does give people an opportunity to get, you know, dip their toes in to the 40K universe and not have to worry about watching like hour-long lore videos. Now, obviously, not to knock the lore, the 40K lore channels out there. I still need to continue my binge of the Luton's lore coverage, because I've kind of put a pause on that for the past few months now. I should probably continue it. But yeah, Astartes 2 coming next year, 2026, and it looks absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see where we I can't wait to see how it pans out. It's probably going to be one of the best TV shows of that year. Let's be real. Granted, I could, like, for all we know, right, this could turn out to be a piece of shit, but given how well Astartes 1 was received and how that did, my expectations for this are incredibly high. Because you can do a lot more with animation than you can with live action, which is why I feel caused a couple of things to fumble. I felt like they were better animated than they were live action. But that's a conversation for another time. But we got ourselves a couple of quick news stories to talk about today. First thing we're going to talk about, apparently Pokemon, in their infinite wisdom, has decided to release a life-size Gardevoir plush. That is $320. I'll let your imaginations do the work for you, and we pray for that plush for whoever it gets sent to, and whoever decides to buy it. Surely someone out there will buy it for completely non-degenerate purposes. I would hope. But yeah, so that's the thing that exists now. Whether or not they knew what type of whether or not they know what type of product they have released onto the market, or they know fully well what they've unleashed. Yummy meatloaf? Hell yeah, dude. We dig some good meatloaf. So yeah, there's that. So if you want a life-size Gardevoir plush, you go get one yourself. They're for $320. But on top of that, we're going to talk about Sony and Bloodborne once again. No, this is not the announcement of Bloodborne being released on PC. I wish this was the case. No, instead, it's Sony setting a DMCA takedown to the 60 FPS patch for Bloodborne, which is, I believe, is most likely for the Bloodborne PC, fan PC port. That was, that's for the Shad PS4 emulator. Do they know exactly what they were releasing? We'll see. Maybe. It was like a 80% chance that they didn't know. But yeah. This sucks. Because now people are worried that, you know, they're going after this mod. And as far as I'm aware, it's incredibly difficult and basically nigh impossible, or basically impossible to download mods for a PS4 game, like on a PS4. So this is likely just for the PC, the fan PC port. And yeah, people are rightfully afraid that this could mean that they could go after Shad PS4 and send a DMCA takedown notice on them. Because, you know, Sony, for some reason, just refuses to do anything with Bloodborne. Now, people are optimistic. They're thinking that, oh, if they send a DMCA takedown for this, then that could possibly mean a Bloodborne remaster, which, if this does mean a Bloodborne remaster, then let's fucking go. I hope we get like a PC remaster re-release officially. But knowing how Sony is, I doubt. I just for some reason, I'm not too optimistic about that. I think this is just Sony trying to show just the entire gaming industry and the community as a whole that they just don't give a shit about Bloodborne anymore. They don't. And if these takedown notices don't result in a re-release, then that's their statement. They're sitting on a gold mine with a PC re-release, and not even that, but just a console, like a modern console, like re-release, remaster, port, whatever the case may be. They're sitting on the gold mine and they're not doing anything with it, and yeah. Which is kind of the reason why the fan-made PC port was made to begin with. I did start a playthrough on that, on my downtime. I got the Cleric Beast, and that's basically it, because I know what boss I'm going for next, and I absolutely hate it. Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Bloodborne community and the Souls community, because people love Bloodborne, and I completely understand why. But you know, who knows? Only time will tell if this results in a PC port or not. We're just gonna have to wait and see. And if it doesn't, like I said, well then, well, what more can we really do? I mean, there is a lot more that we can really do, but you know how it is.